Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the Heresy Thursday. And boy, oh boy, have we got a new heavy siege tank. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Heresy Thursday. Turn Astartes tanks and buildings into craters with the Typhon Heavy Siege Tank. There's no shortage of things that need blowing up in the Age of Darkness. Dreadnoughts, cataphracti, Kratos heavy battle tanks. All of these can be torn asunder with the Typhon Heavy Siege Tank. Let's take a look. So this thing is coming over from Horus Heresy into the Warhammer range, or into the Games Workshop range in plastic. So just another one of the kits that will be much, much better made and have a much better place in the Warhammer range over the Forgeworld resin range. So it looks pretty cool. Obviously the main gun on the front is that heavy siege cannon, and then it's got a couple of sponson choices. So it's got the Volkite Culverin, heavy bolter, heavy flamer, and then the las cannon as well. So pretty neat. Pretty neat. The Typhon Heavy Siege Tank shares a chassis with the Spartan, but instead of carrying squads of tactical marines and terminators across the battlefield, it mounts a centerline Dreadhammer siege cannon. Okay, so very cool. So this is built on the Spartan chassis and then basically trades out its transportation capacity for this big siege gun here. And I do really like, the gun is actually like massive, and then this little plate right here kind of covers up some of it. But I do like it. It's obviously loaded with detail. Very nice, very crisp tank. You can see how very nicely made it is in plastic as opposed to resin. I honestly wish everything was coming over from Forgeworld. It was created by the Mechanicum after a direct request from Perturabo himself. No stranger to prolonged and brutal sieges, the Hammer of Olympia wanted big guns to the front line as fast as possible, and thus the Typhon was born. As with many Spartan variants, the Typhon can expand its specific blastastic loadout with a choice of sponson weapons such as heavy bolters, Volkite Culverins, heavy flamers, and lovely las cannons. So yeah, overall it looks really good. I honestly have to say I like the look of it. Now the Spartan was pretty cool as well. Not sure how popular either one is. Let's check out the stats here. The real star of the show, however, is the Dreadhammer itself. Strength 12, AP 3, make a mockery of heavy armor, and that performance is only improved by rending 4+ and sunder. Beef that shot up with ordnance and blast 5 inches, and a stationary Typhon can take out whole squads of Legion tactical marines at a time. Alright, so pretty strong. Obviously, if you don't move it, it's even stronger. But with range 24, that's obviously not going to be an option. So you're going to want this thing on the front line. You're going to want this thing, you know, basically in the bulk of the battle, or just outside the true danger zone. So the Dreadhammer Siege Cannon, very, very strong. Obviously, the extra abilities from not moving are definitely where it shines. It's not a long-distance, high-explosive delivery machine, but its medium range of 24 inches is largely offset by the heavy protective armor to weather return fire. It's not just enemy ordnance you need to protect against either. We heartily recommend any tank crews sent to operate a Typhon pack protective ear defenders too. And now a quick message from this week's sponsor. This video is sponsored by CMOGames.com, where you can get 15% off most Games Workshop pre-orders, and they go live right at midnight Saturday mornings. CMOGames.com offers free shipping on orders over $25 in the US 48, and most orders ship within 24 hours. CMOGames.com has been selling Games Workshop products online for more than 20 years, and customer service is their top priority. CMOGames.com carries the full line of Games Workshop products, including 40K, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, warcry, paints, hobbies, and tools. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description below so they know you heard about CMOGames.com from Warhammer Man Studios. Now, back to the video. Alright, so very cool. Obviously you get to see the stats of the main gun, what it could potentially be equipped with, and then, you know, the actual tank itself. I think it looks great. I am really, really a big fan of all of the plastic new Horus Heresy stuff. That being said, I have recently brought up, you know, one of my qualms. Now, I'm not a player of Horus Heresy, so everything I get is essentially feedback from friends, community members, comment section, etc. But it sounds like the last thing right now that Horus Heresy needs is another big tank. I had mentioned a couple of things such as apothecaries and assault troops, and then quite a few people have chimed in with some other necessities for Horus Heresy, including something that I hadn't actually mentioned but is crucial, which is essentially like non-Astartes stuff. So like there has been a ton of Space Marine, and a lot of it is Heretic Astartes as well. Like tanks, vehicles, troops, different variants of armor, characters, you know, all that different stuff that has come out. And a lot of the stuff from the Adeptus Custodes range transfers over, but there's very little other like Imperial stuff that you can get right now. As a matter of fact, the biggest one that has always like screamed out to me was Adeptus Mechanicus. There's a bunch of really cool stuff for Adeptus Mechanicus that's only available in Horus Heresy. And then if you look at the list of plastic stuff or 40k stuff that you can use in Horus Heresy for Adeptus Mechanicus, it's like almost nothing. So there's a ton of awesome units that are only offered in resin, and then there's a ton of plastic units that are all, you know, in the main line, and they're not compatible, you know, either way. So in my opinion, that's what really needs to happen. They need to fill the gaps on some very important things for the, you know, Space Marines and Heretics. But the real truth is that they need to fill out some of the other ranges as well and make it so it's not just like a Space Marine game, which has always kind of been a complaint of Horus Heresy. So the truth is, I think this is cool. I think it's overall nice. I really like to see them continually bringing over like tanks from Horus Heresy, dreadnoughts, all kinds of stuff. I love the plastic versus the resin. I have not seen one item yet that was brought to the regular range from resin that didn't look better. Not only do they all equal, but better. So I'm definitely with them, keeping it up. A lot of people again had chimed in and basically said they wish they would have filled out the ranges a little bit more behind the scenes and then kind of like release things at once. Obviously, because there's already so many different models available from Forgeworld, and because the game has been going on for so long, with the new edition, they put out a bunch of new stuff, but they really weren't able to fill out the ranges to the degree that, you know, people really want right away. And it has been taking time. I mean, it's going to be, you know, coming up on, I don't even know, about what, a year? Might have already passed. It's been like roughly, you know, 6 months to a year since the new game came out, since they released a lot of the plastic stuff and everything. And while they have consistently been releasing new stuff and filling out the range, you know, at some point in time, there's got to be some kind of like big leap forward in the stuff. I mean, it must be cool to get a bunch of new heavy tanks and everything like that. But I mean, I would imagine most armies probably have like one Spartan or one of these, or, you know, maybe a couple of like the smaller things like dreadnoughts or something like that. So it's not like every time one of these releases comes out, it's like, oh, finally, now I have a full army. So definitely my opinion as someone outside looking in. You guys can let me know in the comments. Always like to hear back from you guys, especially about things like Horus Heresy or Sigmar, where it's not like my primary games. A lot of times somebody else will play a specific army, or that is their main game. So obviously they have a lot more knowledge of just the basic game or specific armies than I do. So let me know what you think down below. I definitely think this is really cool. I'm not going to be picking it up. Does not excite me or anything like that. I didn't pick up the Spartan. Matter of fact, I've gotten away without purchasing any of the new Horus Heresy stuff. Even a couple of the vehicles, which I absolutely love, and you can use in 40k. Some of them I already have conversions for, or Forgeworld pieces. So that's it for today. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring this video. I am, of course, Warhammer Man, and this is Warhammer Man Studios, taking a look at the newest tank for Horus Heresy, coming to plastic, and I'm out of here.